Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are good rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep.
Yep. What's going on, y'all? This is your host coming live and direct from Toronto, Canada. Hashtag the six, hashtag T.O. Something where you go. I forgot the words. I'm sorry. I should cut it off, y'all. I apologize. Look at me. He's like, oh man. I haven't played that song in so long. And the last time I saw Cardinal Official perform that was at the Raptors parade, like the Raptor championship parade. So apologies, but big up to Cardinal Official. So Faheem, as you know, we're excited to talk about some of the topics. Some topics you guys should expect because they've been trending, and we just gotta give y'all our thoughts on what's happening. So Faheem, what we got going on for our first topic, brother? We got going on
the draft, NBA Draft 2023. NBA Draft just happened. We'll just cut right to the chase. There's a lot of hype around Victor Wenbanyama. First of all, shout out to the Spurs, #1 pick. They won the sweepstakes. Give me your thoughts.
You know my thoughts for this. So big up to everyone that that came into the Raptors live TV space we hosted on Twitter Spaces. So big up to y'all. If you're not following at Raptors Live TV, what are you doing with yourself, y'all? Or at Good Rookies on Twitter. Come on, y'all, get it together, okay? But we hosted a room. Faheem is the Raptors Live TV voice. And so we had Matthew Maurer. He came in there, dropped a lot of great knowledge about the draft and what he's experienced. Again, big up to the draftreview.com, the largest database for NBA draft players. And he's also a draft historian, so big up to him. So anyway, my thoughts for him: conspiracy. Okay, we all like good conspiracies. I gotta big up Pat in stats, Patrick. Man's from Denver. Well, man's from Seattle, I should say. But he really he shared something with this week, and I have to talk about it. Right, the last two times the Spurs has been under 30% in the season in wins. Right. They got three first round picks. The first two picks for him, the first round was, yes, we all know, Mr. Robinson and Mr. Duncan.
Wow.
And now they're gonna get Victor. Now, I'm not saying the Spurs plotted for this, but the fact that Victor is saying things like all of France is happy, Matthew said he knew about Victor when he was 11 or 13. Like, clearly, I'm not saying the Spurs planned for all this to happen for him, but there's no way you're this lucky. Okay, there's no way. I'm sorry.
Okay,
no way. But I will say this. I do think, like, for Victor and for what he needs, I'm happy for him. I think he's also happy because he's a Spurs fan. So I think this is a wonderful marriage in terms of where Victor's happy, the Spurs are happy, and I think the country of France is happy. I'm just saying conspiracy. And hey, I know, like, Nelly, what's wrong with you? But guess what? We're here. We're here,
right,
y'all.
So
but yeah, big up to Victor, though. Big up to him.
I want to ask you then, if you're talking conspiracy, what would be I'm just wondering, what would be the motive? Like, why does
to get Victor to get Victor? What do you mean? What's the motive?
No.
To get
no, hold on. Well, we understand. Yeah. No, I'm saying, what is the motive for the league to have a generational player in San Antonio, one of the smallest markets?
Actually, yes, they're the smallest market, but they trust their front office. They know that player is going to go there and get, like, that's a basketball city, like a basketball town in terms of who they've developed. One of their Hall of Famer players is from France. So I think that was more of, we trust that franchise to do a good job. Come on, Faheem. You think they want Victor in Charlotte or in Portland? No. Want them in Houston or Detroit? Hell no. Orlando? No to no. Or Indiana? No. Washington? Hell no. Utah? No. Dallas? No. You know what I'm saying? Toronto, hell no. They don't want Victor in Canada. God, that means Eastman got to freaking have an office up here now. New Orleans, no. OKC, no, Faheem. Spurs was the right, like, Spurs, if I'm the league, I want him out of all the teams in lottery, Faheem, that's where I want him. So yes, that's the motive. And again, it's my little conspiracy theory.
No,
I
I
may
get
sound
it.
crazy. I'm just thinking of all the other teams in the draft lottery. If I'm looking for a talent, I want a front office that I know can develop, have the right people around him. They have had bigs before for him. How many? They have like two. The last two picks they've had at number one are all Hall of Fame, all champion. You know what I'm saying? That's a good track record. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Charlotte's top picks became who? Portland became who? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, I'm not even mad at it at all. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna still say conspiracy because that's how I feel. And the more I've talked about it, people are like, yeah, Janelle, I hear you. But at the end of the day, the motive is getting Victor. And I think for him, I believe when Rand was on the podcast, we spoke about it with Randy Holcomb. He mentioned that like the amount of money or value your franchise increases by adding him is, I think, we're looking at millions of dollars, right? So that's incentive for San Antonio to tank, knowing that, hey, we need to get the highest, like the highest chance of getting the number one pick. And no offense for him, once the Spurs got it, no one was shocked. Like, no one in the space was like, oh my God, the Spurs won. Nobody was shocked. That tells me that it's either fixed or they're just very lucky. It's up to you guys to decide, but I'm going with conspiracy.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, when I think, I have no pushback with anything you're saying. That's cool. I just wonder, say for instance, he doesn't go to San Antonio and he lands elsewhere. I'm just wondering, with him being in San Antonio, they're starting from the ground up. Like, they don't really have much of a base outside of the, like you mentioned, the management. Sure, they got Popovich. He has the right team around him. But I think they're more than just one supposed generational player away from making any type of push. Like, I guess we'll have to see how generational, how impactful he is. I don't know.
I mean, keep in mind, having Victor on your roster, players are going to want to play with him. That's all it is. It happens, right? Players are going to want to play with them, especially younger guys who want to play, because playing along Victor, you might get better recognition, better exposure. If I'm an agent, I want my role player playing with I want my guy playing with Victor. That's more TV time, more exposure, more endorsements, more everything. Like, you're making more money being around a player like that. Period. So there's lots of value, right? That's why, we see players today gravitate certain guys, right? And the fact that he's from France, international players, they tend to have a lot of grace in this league. And so I think you will also get that. But I think with Popovich, getting him as a coach, Popovich looks like he ain't going to retire anytime soon. Not with Victor coming up. And if he retires, he'll still be on staff or somewhere in the front office anyway. Right. And like, Tony Parker still works around the Spurs. So like, and again, when the Spurs got the first round pick, Victor was like happy. He was like, yay! His family was happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted to go there. That's why I'm not mad at it, because he wanted to go there. I'm not like, yes, it's a conspiracy, but because he wanted to go there as well, I'm not mad at it, because I do want Victor to go to a team that he wants to like go to, right? Like, he also should have that, right? That's why I'm not like angry about it. I'm just saying, like, conspiracy.
No, that's fine. They also had Boris Diaw. He's another French person that played for the Spurs also. Yeah, I mean, we'll see a lot of hype around him and LeBron comparisons. I mean, I seen a quote saying that Dame Lillard was talking about how he was, I guess, in grade 7 when, or was it 7 years old? The number 7 pops into my mind about what he said. But he said that he was just young, and LeBron's still 20 years deep in the league, being a top player. So he thinks maybe this hype might be a little bit too hype, or maybe undervaluing the hype that's around LeBron.
Listen, Faheem, no offense to Victor, he ain't gonna be no LeBron of this league, man. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know either way on this. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
There's only one LeBron ever, by the way. So as I'm saying, like, he'll be the Victor of the league. I don't I hate when we kind of give players that haven't even played a drop of the NBA all this expectation. I just think there's only going to be ever one LeBron. And I think Victor's going to carve out his own destiny. But the hype around Victor, I don't think it's as big as LeBron, because LeBron had a whole documentary about his life prior to the NBA draft. Like I watched a whole hour and a half documentary about LeBron, and he was still in high school. That's how big LeBron was. So I don't think Victor's hype is as big, but I think the NBA is very excited because it's a fresh talent and they're smart. Unlike the WNBA, who I wish the WNBA would do more of that, like really big up and kind of like promote the top talents while they're in college, or while they're, you know what I mean, while they're coming up, because you're going to adopt that fan base prior to them entering the league. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope the WNBA does take notice, because the NBA does a really good job in promoting and like giving these kids exposure to the guys that they're excited about prior to the draft, right? They like a whole year before, we know the up and coming players because the NBA promotes them. The NBA talks about them, right? Whereas in the WNBA, they don't really do that. So I really hope the WNBA does adopt that type of promotion of younger players before they come to WNBA as well. Like the top guys, you know what I'm saying? Top 5 guys, whatever.
Okay. It's be when you say he won't be, you have to be careful what you think he will and won't. Just because of I remember, I'm pretty sure it was
hold up, Faheem. I said he won't be LeBron. What's wrong with saying he won't be a LeBron? What's wrong with saying that? I said there will never be any LeBrons coming up ever again, right? I think he'll be a Victor, his own Victor. Like, but I don't know to say that he will have like a 20-year season, averaging 30 points in his 20th year. Like, what?
Well, you never. I'm just saying.
I know I never know. I'm not saying that, but all I'm saying though is that like the hype around him is not even as big as LeBron's hype. Like even now, like I think Victor's a big hype, but he's not the hype for him. When LeBron was coming up for him, it was madness. It was crazy.
But it's not so much about the hype; it's the prediction of the ceiling of what you think it could be. At this point, we really don't know, right? So, and the reason why I'm saying that is, I'm pretty sure it was Darius Miles. I'm pretty sure it was when LeBron was coming into league and LeBron had the hype, and he was on record as saying, "Oh, you know, he won't be." He put a ceiling on LeBron and what he won't be. And it didn't age too well. So, I mean... No,
I get that. But guess what? I'm going to stand by what I said, because I thought LeBron was going to be who he was because his body was NBA ready. Victor's body is not NBA ready. There's 2 different body types. So, LeBron was a specimen. Like, we were all like, this kid is 17. This man came in the league as a grown man at 18, bro. Like, I'm not going to compare. Victor's body is not prepared for the NBA. And if you watch him in those French international games, he's really good. I think he's very versatile, love his game. But in terms of like, can he compete in the NBA? I have no idea. But LeBron playing in North America, growing up in America, seeing what he was doing in the States, I feel like I have a better sample size than what I have of Victor. So maybe it's because I haven't seen enough. I think he's a great player. But to say that like Victor's going to be coming on the first year, and for example, LeBron came in his first year and that team was a playoff team from day one when he joined the league. So the question is, Faheem, do you think when Victor joins the Spurs, are they now a playoff team in the Western Conference?
Nah, I wouldn't think they're going to be. I wouldn't think so.
Whereas LeBron came on and because he was such already NBA ready, meaning like he was ready to go, that team became a playoff team in his first season. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not knocking Victor saying that he won't. I think Victor will be whatever he is, and it will be wonderful. And I'm excited to see it happen. But there's only one LeBron James ever. There's only one Michael Jordan ever. Only one Kareem ever. Like, and it's okay for me to say that. Like, I'm not saying he can't be great. I'm just saying like how they became great. Victor will have to cover his own path of being great. But it won't be the same way as LeBron's, the Stephs, the Jordans, the Kareems, the Shaquille O'Neals. It'll be his own destiny. Duncan's, like, we name it, right? It'll be his own destiny. And I can't wait to witness it. But I'm confident in saying that he will not be LeBron James in terms of how LeBron came in the first year and dominated from day one.
Okay.
And if he is, then I'll say, okay, my bad. Shit. It's okay. I've been wrong before. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll see. All right. You want to go for the culture?
For the culture, I would like to highlight individuals in the culture. And today we get to highlight this amazing star, first of all, she has become the first female rapper inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, um, and the first female rapper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hip hop star Missy Elliott. Yo, Faheem, I don't know about you, but when I first heard Missy back in the day, like when she first dropped her first song, I can stand the rain. Remember that song? Yo, that beat, it's yo man, like Missy Elliott is like a freaking like a phenom, right? Absolute phenom. She's a producer, she's a rapper, a singer, a songwriter. She's produced many of our favorite albums for, Aaliyah, 702, Total, SWV. Her first album was Super Duper Fly in 1997. And yeah, like I just feel like she's just always just been so talented. Like, I mean, up until this day, right? And some of her music is still like Ciara, like some of her music is still like you put on a Missy Elliott track and it's like futuristic. Like her music was before its time. I feel like music now kind of has a lot of the stuff that she was doing back in the 90s. So big up to Missy Elliott for him. But yeah, what's your thoughts on her being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man?
Dope. Yeah, she's a legend. I'm actually shouldn't be surprising. She's the first, was it female rap
Female
in the rock
rapper,
and
hip
roll?
hop. Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of surprised though. I mean, I didn't know there wasn't prior. I would assume though, with surprised like Lauryn Hill, for instance. Lauryn Hill, there's just a lot of other female rap uh, that I thought would have been there first, but I think Missy being the first one definitely is groundbreaking, and she's put in the work to be recognized as that pioneer. So yeah, shout out to Missy. Music is top notch. As of late, kind of been off the radar. I think she's been suffering with. Do you know what it is?
It's
I would
called
hope.
Graves' disease. It's called Graves' disease for him.
Okay, and can you kind of educate us on? Does it say anything about
So
Graves' disease?
yeah, so she was diagnosed. She talked about this back in 2018, but
Mm-hmm.
big up to Billboard. Gotta cite these. Big up to Billboard for talking about this, but um, so she was fighting with Graves' disease, which she
Mm-hmm.
was first diagnosed with after losing an extreme amount of weight in 2008. It affected her body, her life, and she said it causes hair loss and your eyes to bulge. She also said
Mm-hmm.
my blood pressure was always up from just overworking as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so many people aren't familiar with Graves' disease. So it is an immune system disorder.
Okay.
So that's something. So the symptoms include things like weight loss, uh, despite normal eating habits, anxiety, frequent bowel movements, hand tremors, bulging eyes, heart palpitations. And then what causes it is an overproduction of the thyroid hormones. Specialists aren't sure why this starts in like why it starts in certain healthy individuals, but who's at risk of this is like primarily women, people under 40, smokers, and those under a great deal of stress, and people with other immune disorders. And the only treatment they have right now is an anti-thyroid medication. That's a radioactive iodine by mouth, and or you can do surgery to deal with it. But how you can avoid it is to exercise, eat well, and avoid stress. So yeah, she has been dealing with
Mm-hmm.
this. Hence why people thought, oh, she lost a lot of weight. That it was because of that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Um,
so it's good to see that she's obviously taking care of her health. That's probably maybe why she's not out
mm-hmm.
and, out and about, but she's left like the catalog that she left behind for people. Legendary. Not only is she's a songwriter, producer. Um, yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Shout out to Missy for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm looking at this now. Like Graves' disease is pretty much 3% of the population, but one out of 100 Americans have this disease. So that's kind of common to me. One out of 100 is still pretty high up there.
Mm.
So I think Missy Elliott and like her story is so important, right? Because she was top of her game. I mean, even Destiny's Child, Beyonce, like every artist, all your favorite artists work with her, right? They all worked with her because she was such an amazing person, but she was just had an ear for music, for songwriting. Oh my gosh, she's such a talented person. But on the flip side, it's like, wow, she was probably undergoing so much stress. And as fans, we didn't even catch that. You know what I'm saying? The stress of being in public eye, the stress of like making music and being in that industry. So I'm happy that she took time for herself. I remember when she did like the remember that show Cribs on MTV?
Yeah.
And I remember she had like I think her bed was like in like a water tank or in the car. Some I forgot what it was, but she had some like crazy like concoction of how her bed was like in her room. Like she's a very creative, like her music videos for him, phenomenal. Like probably one of the best music videos I've seen ever. Is she probably has 3 out of top 5 in terms of music videos. Just like the actual visuals, the creativity, the color scheme she has. Like it's just so like it's just such a it's like like paintings like she was an artist, you know what I'm saying, from top to bottom. And I feel like people like Rihanna, like she influenced I think a lot of artists that we love today in how they try to portray themselves and have their visuals and their videos as well. But yeah, like Missy is like I remember I could play her albums one like her entire album is a masterpiece. She's a great individual, and I'm happy that she's kind of brought light into Graves' disease because probably something that people aren't aware of at all. And for those who suffer from this disease, they probably people don't probably understand what it is. So I'm happy that she brought light to this for sure. And that, that she's even still, still doing stuff because I think she had a song. Remember, she performed the song, I think, with Normani. Like she's been doing different things, like here and there. So she's still working, but at her own pace. If we're dealing with stress, like this is another indication, a reminder that like we really have to mind and be mindful of our stress levels and what is triggering the stress. Is it work? Is it people? Is it situations? And really try to manage that. So Missy Elliott, just a wonderful individual. Just always positive, just good vibes. Like, like you really hear Missy Elliott in a drama for him, or like in any type of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? She's been classy from day one, just creative, and yeah, just big up to her. I'm a big fan of her. And like you said, her being the first female hip hop artist to ever be inducted as a songwriter in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like, what? It's like there got to be more. So I'm sure her being the first is historic. So we wanted to highlight her today as for the culture, because I think because her doing this now, we're going to see a lot more Black hip hop artists that are women get inducted as well. But I just want to big up to her, man. Just put some light. And of course, those who have Graves' disease, my hearts and prayers are with you guys, for sure, because I know it must not be easy to live with that as well. So,
most stuff. On the way out or for the culture, I just want to throw out when you mentioned the creativity of the videos. So we're talking like 2000s when videos were part of the marketing plan for songs. Not so like videos are still out now, but back in the 2000s, I think there's a lot more production value into videos. And there was always Missy and Busta Rhymes was also another one who always at the time had these like crazy, just out there videos that the two of them, really put in. It was more than just a song or music, it was like a big production. Yeah.
Storytelling.
So,
yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think who had really great videos. I did like I like bad boy videos. Like I like, I like the choreography, like bad. I like Mace. Like they always had like bright colors and just energy in those videos. I like the vibe. I'm trying to think what fun videos back in the day. I did like Destiny's Child. They had a couple of nice videos as well. I'm trying to think who had like really Aaliyah had really good visuals in her videos, like very good. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. I loved her videos as well. But again, she was a product of Missy, so it's kind of like
Right.
that creativity and stuff was there. Remember, up jumps the boogie, boogie jumps the beat, brother,
Oh
brother,
yeah.
please turn on the
Yeah.
TV. Like Timbaland and those guys, yeah, man, that's what an era of music. I'm gonna have to go back and play all that stuff tonight, man. I'm like, whew, I feel nostalgic right now, for sure.
Shout out to Missy Elliott, most def. All
Yeah.
right. So let's go ahead and close out this last segment with That's Absurd.
That's absurd, Faheem, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd? Guys, he's back again. The one, the only. Go ahead, Faheem.
Ja Morant. Okay.
Absurd.
So,
I'm gonna say absurd.
okay, we'll just go. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah.
Absurd.
Yeah. I think we've spoken about Ja maybe on 2 occasions.
I think it's been 3.
So let me go.
17-year-old, the incident at the house.
Right. There's in the house.
First flashing of the gun. No, it's 4 times now. It was a house incident with the kid. Then it was the Pacers, a bus thing.
The lasers,
then it was the first flashing of the gun.
First
now
flashing.
It's his friends. Now it's the second flashing. So it's number 4.
Flashing.
Lord Ja. Morant.
I'm kind of at a loss for words. Just absurd. So we know they say it could exceed $100 million that he could be losing in total. This could be affecting him. His Nike deal, apparently Nike has taken his shoes off of one of their sites, fallen. So that's kind of, I guess, an indication that he might be getting dropped, because they did the same thing with Kyrie before they dropped Kyrie also. So his Nike deal should not be a surprise. He's possibly going to lose that. A lot to be lost. Let's just take it really quick to the instant that happened. He's on the live the second time with his friend, listening to music in the car. His friend throws up the gun finger on the live. His friend turns the camera to Ja. At that point, you would assume, the friend threw up the gun finger. If Ja would have threw up the gun finger, no one would really say anything about it. But Ja saw his friend's gun finger and said, "You know what? Let me one-up you." And he pulled out the real piece. They freeze framed it, took the shot, have it on camera. Here we are. It's absurd. Adam Silver talked to him about the gun situation. Hit him with I guess you could say, a light suspension. It's probably going to drop the hammer on him this time. What's your thoughts, Nelly J?
So I have a few things I want to add to what you're saying, because everything you said, like very accurate. When I watched the video, right? When I actually watched the video the first time for him, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the gun. The second time, I was like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. The third time, I was like, where? Like, I had to literally go to the actual screenshot to see the gun, because it was so fast and it was so quick. This is why the internet's social media can be detrimental, man. Like, oh my goodness. So it was really quick. Like, the picture though makes it think like he had the gun up for 20 seconds. No, y'all, it was the quickest flash of the gun. But the internets would, show that no, it was a gun. Again, the issue with him, okay, I think there's a couple of things we want to break down here, right? He did not break the law. He did not break the law. We know that no law was broken in the States, not in Canada, but in the States, you can't have a gun on you. That's not illegal. So what he did is not illegal in America, right? In terms of the law. However, I think the biggest thing is Ja Morant had a conversation with Adam Silver, the first incident, and they talked about the situation. So it's not like this is happening and Ja is unaware of what the expectation is of the NBA, of the league, and of his optics, right? He spoke to Adam Silver one-on-one. They had a conversation. Adam told him why this affected the league and blah, blah, blah. And Ja said, okay, Adam, I'm summarizing, right? Adam, I get it. It's on me. I don't condone violence, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So now that he's doing it again, this is more of an optic / my word, I lied to your face, Adam. This is what I look at it as, that. more than just him breaking the law, because he's a kid, you know, and from what I've been hearing is that, you know, kids, this is a part of the hip hop culture, right? Kids have guns on them, and he's not like a kid, you know what I mean? Like he's 20 something years old, but I mean like he's of that age where, you know, kids can carry guns on them at that age in America. This is a part of that culture. So, but at the end of the day, you work for someone and that person spoke to you one-on-one as to why you cannot show your gun in this manner on IG Live. And even though it wasn't his IG Live, it was his friend's IG Live, it still doesn't matter, right? You said you would not do something again, boom, and you did it. So this is why, to your point, I think they will put a penalty on him for sure for the optics. You know, JJ Redick made a comment about he's a 23-year-old. Like, you know, we've seen Congress people pose with guns and pictures and all this stuff, which is true, right? We see a lot of white men with guns in America posing and talking, you know what I mean? So it's like it's not, so what he did is not wrong. I just think because he spoke with Adam Silver about IG Live and having a gun up there, and then he did it again, I think that is where, you know, he's going to get the hammer down on. However, I do think the NBPA has the obligation to make sure that the penalty doesn't exceed the, like, you know, what he did. Like, and guys, no one is like, oh my gosh, Ja, you're a bad person. Oh my gosh, Ja. No, Ja didn't say anything wrong. He wasn't rude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't like explicit. He wasn't being a you know what I'm saying? Fame? Like, he wasn't a bad person. Like, he wasn't being he's not a bad person. So if you think Ja's a bad person for this, then I'm sorry. He's not a bad person. He can't be canceled. He made an error in judgment, right? That's what it is. But I do think the NBA has an obligation in terms of, we want to set a standard for our other players in this league. So that's why I do think he'll get penalized. But I give Ja grace, and I hope that he figures this out. I hope he understands that, because I'm a fan of Ja. I love watching him play. Like, he's on my fantasy team for a reason. Like, Ja is an incredible player, and I want to see him exceed in this league. So I just hope that this will now make him buckle down and go, you know what? Let me now focus and not be caught on. Listen, Ja, deactivate your at this point, ban IG Live from your life. Like, take a 1-year ban of IG. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Because clearly there's no control there, right? Sometimes you have to like control yourself. You know what? I can't control myself when a song is on. I have my gun on me, and that's fine, right? So maybe take a break from IG Live for a little bit. You know, maybe your friend should also, all your friends, please, if you're Ja Morant's friend, please don't put him on your IG Live. Please, okay? Don't do that to the man. Like, come on. Like, we need everyone around Ja to make better decisions, because it's affecting Ja's life, right? And I want Ja to do what's best for him as well. But anyway, this absurd is different, because I don't think Ja Morant's absurd. I just think it's absurd that he's like back on IG Live with the gun, and now he has to deal with this again. Like, it's just the entire situation is absurd for sure for him. Like, I'm like, oh, it's so absurd for me. But I'm aligned with JJ Redick's comments as to, like, he didn't do anything wrong, like, whatever. But there is the optics thing here, so the league will suspend and he will be suspended. But he didn't do anything like wrong in terms of being a youth in America. But he was wrong because he worked for somebody. So that's two different, you know, things there. So yeah. Ja Morant, man, yeah. The fourth absurd for the year 2023. I mean, it's nuts.
It is nuts. All right, so now, Jay, just what do you think is going to be his punishment?
Oh man, so I was looking into this, right? I know Miles Bridges got 30 games for being arrested. I know Gilbert Arenas had 50 something games when he got caught with a gun in the locker room. So if I'm Adam Silver, probably wants to give him like 40, 45, but the NBPA should try to negotiate down to like a 20 something game, because I don't think he broke the law. And I think, or if you say, this is my theory, if I'm the NBA and NBPA, I'm okay with Ja Morant can attend any NBA facilities or go on any NBA anything for the rest of the year. That meaning that from now until December 31st, Ja Morant cannot, you know, participate in any team activities and can come back in January next year. I think that would be enough punishment to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You're affecting your team and your money, because no all NBA team again, right? If that happens. So I think, you know, the rest of the year suspension, I think, is sufficient. And I think it's what, 31, 32 games, I guess. But
so you're going with You're
Yeah, I'm
going
going with
on.
like the 30s, like either the 30s or like no training camp, no preseason, as well as no regular season games, which could be 30 games too. So around there. How about you? What you got?
I'm gonna throw out just a hard number. I'm gonna go with could be the season, which is 82 games. Maybe I'll go 82. Might be a little bit low, but low. I could be lower than 82, but I'll just go with the season, just because, like you mentioned, Gilbert Arenas gun in the locker room, got him 50 games.
Yep.
Now, if this was Ja's first offense, him flashing a gun on IG is not as bad as Gilbert Arenas being in league property with a gun.
Yes,
right?
Agreed.
Okay,
for sure.
But when you add on that Ja has already been disciplined for flashing the gun, spoke to the commissioner, and then went back maybe months later and defied the agreement that he had with the commissioner. Yeah. I think the commissioner is really good. Now, at this point, a second offense of flashing the gun after the commissioner has spoken to you, I think that would be, if not equal, I think maybe even more than Gilbert Arenas going the first time into NBA facility with a gun. I think it's worse than that, actually, the second time. So I think they're going to totally throw the book at him. I'm going to go with 82 games. Could be a little bit less, but season? I think I was think season. I think season. Okay.
And that's why, to your point, I think that's going to what they want to do. But I think the NBPA also has to agree upon it, because that's their client, right? It's the player, the union. So I think they're going to put something saying, like, I think they're going to want to throw the book at them. But I think the NBPA, they're going to protect their player and say, hey, like what Reddick said, he didn't break the law. Yes, I understand that you're hurt that he lied to you, but let's look at the entire like optics of this. You know what I'm saying? Like how like it was his friend's IG, wasn't his IG, right? You know what I mean? Like I think there'll be some negotiation here, to your point. But yeah, like I think it'll be a lot of games. But yeah, it could be 82 and it could be freaking 12. Like we don't know. But yeah, I'm not mad at your prediction, bro.
You just mentioned optics. Think about this. In one season, like not a calendar year, but within one season, he's had 4 things that have been detrimental to his image to the league. One was the disturbing the teen with the assault, allegedly, the laser, like we mentioned, and now these 2 gun flash. That's 4 things within one season. Like he's making Allen Iverson look like a choir boy. You know what I'm saying? Allen Iverson back in the day had this bad boy image, you know? And actually, Allen Iverson has done nothing anywhere remotely close to what Ja's done. But just the cornrows, the baggy, just the attitude, everything about Allen Iverson at the time wasn't something that the league wanted to promote. Ja Morant's actually out here doing it for real. So, I mean...
like it's real in real time.
In real time. So, yeah, I mean... I would have thought last time I'd say, hopefully he's learned from this. I don't know. How we can say, I guess, is we hope he'd learn from this, but I don't really have much faith in him, to be honest. I just hope he can get some people around him, keep it together. That's all I can say at this point. All the best to you.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel. Like man, Ja Morant is younger, and yes, like I have grace towards his age and his decision making, stuff like that. But I also feel like he also has an obligation for himself, right? It's not even about us. Like it's about Ja Morant, right? It's about you. From what Ja has said in the press conference, even when they lost, he's like, I know I've been a distraction to my team. This is on me this season. Like he has taken full accountability for his wrong and his errors. And that's someone who actually admits, like, unlike some players who blame other guys. Damn, well, MD cough came out. Ja Morant was like, I'm the leader of this team. It's up to me. I'm a distraction. And I think that's a good sign of someone with good, good intention, someone who's like understands that they have responsibility outside of just themselves. So I do respect Ja a lot. And like you're right, Faheem, he definitely has to do it for himself and for the team. And so Ja has to want to get the help. We can give him all the positive and the blessings, and I think John wants to get the help in regards to making the right decisions. When I say getting help, people think help in making the right decision. Some people just don't make the right decision for themselves. They don't make the right calls for themselves. And so he has to do better in making the right call, but also his friends has to help him out, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, guys, please support Ja. If you're in a circle of friends, please support him, push him in the right direction. Like, help him out as well. Because, a village helps you better yourself. Like, Faheem, your friends, everyone's friends or circle of friends help them become better people. Without our people around us, we're going to be stagnant. So I'm also going to send positive to his friends and say, yo, bro, like, y'all got to support Ja. Help him out as well as a part of someone in his circle. So I wish y'all the best. And let's see, we're going to see probably, I don't know when, but I'm sure we're going to see maybe before this comes out, what the league says, and we're going to go from there, I guess. But all the best, Ja. For real, all the best, man.
All the best, Ja.
Yeah.
All right. That's Nelly J. Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, this was the Good Rookie Show. And so, as y'all know, we always like to do shout outs. So my shout out this week is to pretty simple. I'm gonna be very petty. Jamal Murray, Canadian boy playing in the conference finals. Big up to Kyle Lowry, Toronto Raptor. He's also honorary Canadian because he has remember he got that doctorate for him, so he's Canadian in Canada. So big up to those guys, just really playing really good basketball for their team. Their roles are so key for him on both of the Heat and Denver. So just sending them lots of positivity in his playoff run for the NBA. That's just me. What about you, Faheem? Who you got for your shout out?
My shout out is going to be the coaching carousel, actually. The coaches that have been released. We've had Nick Nurse, who's won a championship. We've had Mike Budenholzer, who's won a championship. We've had Doc Rivers. Yes, he's won a championship. Monty Williams, he hasn't won. I'm saying we have really four.
Dwayne Casey.
Well, actually, Dwayne Casey got promoted, so he's
a
GM there. So
he got fired as a coach and then got hired as a Was it promoted?
I think it was promoted.
The promotion, depending on if he wants to not thing, but it seemed like he wasn't doing a good job anyway.
To the coaches, shout out to the coaches. These very capable coaches who are now unemployed, who will obviously be landing into a spot. So that's what I'm saying. All four of those coaches I mentioned will be coaching summer next year. Shout out to wherever they land. Let's see how this turns out.
Yep. And I heard a rumor that Nick Nurse is interviewing for that Philadelphia job for him.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I heard that also.
Raptor fans are about, listen, if they hire Nick Nurse as a coach for the 76ers, this might be worse than the Pistons versus the Raptors when they rivaled. This might be nasty for him. I can't wait though. You know what I'm saying? I love stuff like that. But yeah, great shout out to you. Love that. Cause I think coaches need some grace. They always get blamed, but all five coaches that got fired, I can't really blame them per se, because I think their team also underperformed. So it's a bit of both. Fans always think coaches have all this power, but the guys on the court, if they're shooting like 3 for 20, the coach's fault. Okay, well, okay. Okay. But no, great shout outs for him. Love those.
All right. So Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend for him.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. It's the Good Rookie Show. And we out.
Peace.